Gillian O'Sullivan praises Jess Bush's talent and generosity for helping him book the role of Dr. Roger Corby in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 3. O'Sullivan debuted as Corby in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 2, Wedding Bell Blues, and Roger, being Nurse Christine Chapel's new boyfriend, was an unpleasant surprise to her former flame, Lieutenant Spock, Ethan Peck. Speaking exclusively to Screen Rant, Gillian O'Sullivan described his audition for Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, which was a chemistry read with Jess Bush over Zoom. O'Sullivan effusively praises Jess Bush for being very generous in his audition, noting that she gave me everything that she could in the difficult circumstances of doing a chemistry read over Zoom. Read Gillian's quote below. Gillian O'Sullivan and Jess Bush have palpable chemistry on Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Chapel and Corby are believably in love. Chapel and Corby couple. Dr. Roger Corby and Nurse Christine Chapel literally beamed into Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 2 already a couple, after Christine spent 3 months working with Roger in her fellowship for archaeological medicine. To Spock's chagrin, the Pablo Neruda-quoting affection between Roger and Christine was genuine, which made the Vulcan realize his own romance with Nurse Chapel was, indeed, over. In his exclusive interview with Screen Rant, Gillian O'Sullivan credited the writing by Kirsten Beyer and David Reed for making Dr. Roger Corby likable, at least to audiences, as well as Chapel's USS Enterprise crewmates, except for Spock. The other person in Wedding Bell Blues who loathed Corby on sight was Trey Lane, Rhys Darby, who warped reality to marry Chapel to Spock instead of Roger. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds knows it has a good thing with Chapel and Corby. Gillian returns as Corby in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 5, Through the Lens of Time. O'Sullivan hints that you start to see kind of that dark side of Corby, foreshadowing the heel turn Dr. Roger Corby takes in Star Trek, the original series. Our take on Jess Bush and Gillian O'Sullivan's chemistry in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Chapel and Corby won't last, unfortunately. Chapel and Corby at Centennial Party. Gillian O'Sullivan was brilliantly cast as Dr. Roger Corby opposite Jess Bush's Nurse Christine Chapel in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Chapel and Corby's engagement is long over in Star Trek, the original series, but Strange New Worlds has shown that Roger and Christine were indeed well matched and in love in this early stage of their relationship. Knowing how Dr. Roger Corby turns out in Star Trek, the original series, Strange New Worlds has wisely not made Chapel and Corby's romantic trajectory an obvious straight line. Roger and Christine are still a young couple in Strange New Worlds, and for them, the future is bright despite being long distance due to Chapel's service aboard the USS Enterprise.